Hey, we're here. Here
We're
we
here.
are. The Get Back is back on Discord.
Are we? I think we're here.
Are we here? Are we here?
Yeah, we're here.
Everybody's good? Everybody's
I
good?
think we're here.
Okay, we're all good.
Yeah.
We're all good.
We're here.
Whew. How you guys
We're
been?
back.
You guys been good?
We've been better. We'd love to have our. I'll be very careful when I say this. We would love to have our radio station back.
There you go. That's right. That's right.
I've had a fucking day today. I'll say that.
Yeah, a bit of a day for you. You know what I mean?
I've had a day. Had a day. A lot of buses. Very quickly. Quicker than I assumed.
Now, how long did it take for you to get back to where you are now from that bus? Because I know you have to wait.
Hour.
Jesus.
Hour, yeah, probably an hour and a half.
Oh God.
We met at like 1-ish. Oh, and it was raining too. That was fun.
Oh yeah. That's always a
Okay.
great time. Yeah.
The only kind of rain today too, which is great.
Yeah,
It's like
right
the rest
from
of the
like
day.
12 to 1. That was the only rain for.
The only time of rain today. And it was a thunder shower.
Ooh.
Just out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere.
Guys.
It decided to come. Just, you know what? Right now, I'm gonna dump it. I'm gonna dump it right now.
But you know
Great.
what we are excited for?
Yeah.
The NFL schedule.
The NFL schedule. Thank God. It's here. It's finally here. It's finally arrived.
Now,
That's why they do it, because people talk about it. Before, Daniel was like, "Why is it such a big deal?" I'm like, they made it a big deal.
And I still think it's stupid.
It's fun, damn it! It's helping us.
It's a schedule.
What did the Tennessee Titans?
We
have withdrawal. Okay, the NFL found a way to keep its base hype to still stay relevant amongst NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs. That's crazy. We love it.
I get it. I opened my app. I saw who the Jets were playing and when they were playing, and I closed X and I called it a night.
And I watched a lot of the videos.
That's all I did. I get some of it's pretty cool, and objectively it is, and it's fun. I just don't seek it out, or I don't make it on my calendar. This is the schedule release day. But I do understand the hype for it.
But ESPN licking their chops right now.
Everyone is.
Yeah, they're doing breakdowns. Oh, what's gonna be the record for this team and this team and this team? And
we're gonna do the same thing. We're about to do the same thing.
We are.
We're hypocrites. All right, it is what it is.
No, I'm a hypocrite. If we're being real here, I'm a hypocrite.
We're all hypocrites.
Now,
it's good fodder, and it prepares you for the season.
Do we want to start with our teams, Daniel, or do we want to just spin the wheel?
Let's start with our team.
We're not going through everyone's schedules, just a few teams that are relevant in ours, right?
Let's do our team, and then we'll do the wheel.
We'll do the wheel for the review of the entire division.
Yes.
Boom. There you go. All right, I'll start. Where's the Giants' schedule?
I heard you guys have the hardest schedule.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yo, they always try to tear down a New Yorker. I'm just saying. So, it starts off, right, week 1, divisional matchup. The Commanders. Chef's kiss. Can't get any better than this. As I was doing the schedule and I was like tallying up like wins and losses, we always go division, just like split down the middle, so 3-3, always, right?
Yeah, 3-3 always division.
So all of these games I didn't like really count until we get to week 3. We play the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a loss. I'm sorry. It's gonna be something. We could win. It could be a miracle, right?
Or the Chiefs have a rough start to the season.
They could. I don't think so.
It's important. I think it's more important that you guys just play well that game. Even if you lose, I think you still need to make it competitive.
Lewis, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna save my thoughts to the end when you're done
Mhm.
because I have opinions.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna
So
Because I want to see how you, as the most pessimistic Giant fan, go through the schedule.
yeah. All right. So we start out 3-3. So then we get to week 3. It's we're 3-4. We're losing to the Chiefs, right? I
Okay.
feel like that's just what's gonna happen. We're playing the
Okay.
Chargers after that. We're losing to the Chargers. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're not beating
Week
Joe
five?
Burrow and the Chargers. So we're
Okay,
3-5,
3-5.
right? We play the Saints in week 5. We could beat the Saints. We'll be 4-5.
You kidding me?
We could
4-5.
1,000% beat the Saints. We'll be 4-5. We play Denver in week 7. We're losing to Denver. Okay.
Okay.
So we're 4-6.
4-6.
Week 9, we play the 49ers.
Mhm.
Now, at the end,
Okay.
I'll give my upside tally. But as of right now, what I'm thinking, we're losing to the 49ers. So we're 4-7.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 4-7.
We play the Bears. 4-8. Right?
Okay.
We play the Packers.
Okay.
4 and we play the Lions.
They want a losing streak.
And you know what's funny? We play the NFC North. Week 10, 11,
11
and 12.
and 12.
We're getting smacked week 10, 11, and 12. So what's that? 4-10? Or is that
4-10.
4-10. Yeah.
4-10.
We play the
4-10.
Patriots. We could beat the Patriots. We're 5-10.
Okay.
A bye week in week 14. Phew! Thank the Lord. Okay. We play the Minnesota
Don't go win.
Vikings. We're gonna lose.
No, you're up the Commanders.
No, but we're saying 3-3.
Skipping the
Oh.
division. So,
Yeah.
So what's that? 5-11, right? We're losing to the Vikings. I personally think. Then we play the
Okay.
Raiders. 6-11. Boom. Right.
Okay.
Now with upside, 6-11 just base. What I think is like the bare minimum that they can do as a team. We could potentially beat the Bears, 49ers,
Okay.
and I think the Vikings. I think.
You're gonna let Daniel Jones beat you?
Well, he's not on
That's
the
not the-
Vikings. JJ
Where is he
McCarthy.
at?
Oh,
JJ
Oh,
McCarthy.
he's at the Colts.
Yeah.
McCarthy.
I
But he
think
did go to the Vikings at some point, didn't he?
He did
was.
last year.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
I think we could beat those 3 teams. Maybe we can eke by the Broncos or Chargers. Maybe. But that's a tough ask. Very tough ask.
I think it depends on how the Chargers and Broncos are doing.
Yeah, if they're like doing really well and like they're playing really well, we're getting smoked. Sorry.
Now, let me go through your schedule as an optimistic, outside looking in Giant fan.
So now for at least my upside, I can see 9-8. I could see it.
Okay.
It's a possibility in my mind, or 8-9, either one of those. I would be if we win 10 games. I'm jumping out of a window in joy. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to
You gotta
sing
eat all your words, bro.
I'm going to sing praises in the street. I'm gonna tell people to believe there is a God
You gotta kick the
because
table.
the Giants won 10 games. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I could see 6-11, but upside 9-8.
Okay. So here's my prediction for your schedule, right?
Go ahead.
As an optimistic Giant fan who I think he really has built a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
3-3 in division, right?
All right.
Okay. I think at Dallas, at Washington, crazy start to the season. You know, real quick, the Dallas game, lowest ticket, $35. Kind of crazy. Anyway. First game, home game against the Chargers, against the Chiefs Sunday night. I think first game at MetLife, Sunday night. Chiefs did not have a great year last year. Proven they were beatable. I could see it. Jim, I could see a swing game here. But for now, we'll say they lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 3-4. Home against the Chargers. Call it a feeling, call it whatever you want to call it. I could see the Giants in a defensive war just eking out the Chargers a little bit. 4-4.
All right.
I think you beat the Saints. You crushed the Saints. Okay?
That's right.
5-4, above 500. Right? Skipping Philly. At Denver, that's a loss. Objectively, that's a loss. 5-4. Objectively, that's fine. Now, home against the 49ers. I don't love this 49er team. I think by week, what is that, 9? They could be very banged up and they could be very bad or very good. I think either way, at home, West Coast, 1 o'clock, early start time for the Niners. I could see it. I think they win that game.
The Niners or the Giants?
The Giants.
Oh, yeah, it's possible. The Niners, look, they're going to be packed with rookies. So
They could be hurt.
they could be hurt. They could have
Purdy could be out of it.
Yeah, you got a chance. You got a chance. But if their season looks completely different than last season,
Look, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I think 6-5. I said they beat the Chiefs, by the way. I think they lose the Chiefs, beat the Chargers.
Yeah. You could beat the Chiefs too.
That's what I think. That's a twin game.
That's at home?
That's the first home game of the year.
Then I think you can do it.
Sunday night.
I think you could do it.
Twin game. But for now, we'll say they lose. All right, so 6-5. Against the Bears. Bears love their defense. Don't love their offense. I love the Giant defense. Caleb Williams got smacked around last year. I could see it. I think 7-5. In Chicago, why not? Green Bay, you lose. You lose. Green Bay, you lose. Detroit, you lose. That's fair. Detroit, $212 low ticket price, crazy. They're crashing out their fans. That's pretty bad. At home, road against New England on a Monday, you beat New England 8-7. Now
Please beat New England for us.
Now we're cooking here. Okay. Minnesota. Now, granted, I don't love Minnesota, but for some reason, the Giants play well against Minnesota. Could we see 9 wins here? 9-7. I think you beat the Raiders. Now we're 10-7. You lose, and then that was that. But I think the Giants have a possibility here of going and having 9 to 11 wins very easily. I think their squad is underrated. I think their defense is really good. And I think there's a lot of very winnable games on the schedule depending on how other teams are doing. I would not be surprised if the Giant team can pull away with 9 wins.
I think if these other teams are having way better seasons than the Giants, I don't know about 9 wins, maybe 7.
Now, granted, there are swing games. The Chief game is a swing game. The Bear game, the 49er game, the Minnesota game, maybe even the Green Bay game. They can go either way. But you know what? We take either way. You got to be in those games.
Yeah.
And if you could win those games, that's a big, big positive for this Giant team that's been very disappointing the last couple of years.
I would kiss Brian Daboll and Joe Shane at the same time if we win 10 games. Said it here first. We'll make a very cute throuple. That's all I'm saying. Listen, Brian Daboll, Joe Shane, if we win 10 games, fantastic. Mwah, 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 chef's kiss. I'm a believer. Put in Jackson Dart. I don't care. If we win 10 games, by the way, we make it the playoffs.
If you win 10 games, they save their jobs. Even if you don't make it to the playoffs, they save their jobs.
That is very true. Because
if you win 10 games with
they
Russell
get one
Wilson,
more season.
I mean, if they win 10 games with Russell Wilson, I mean, what do you do there? You keep running it back?
Did he sign a 1 year or a 2 year? I think he signed a 1 year. So maybe you can extend him for like another year with like an option. And like
it depends on how well his relationship is with the coach.
That is very true.
I think if his relationships were way better, obviously in Denver, and if they was just a slightly better in Pittsburgh, he'd probably still be in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But he has to find a way to make sure that someone's not always trying to ship him out. You know, I get it, like you're older, but clearly you still got talent. You can still play. It is kind of bewildering that, teams are willing to let you go. And I can only imagine it's because not very relationship type of guy. You have to have chemistry with who you're working with.
But I will say too, I think Russell Wilson did prove he could still play in this league. I think he still proved that he has an arm. I think with the right coach and the right system, he'll do well. And I think this Giant defense is very underrated, apart from your cornerbacks. But I think it's a good enough defense you could be in every game. So I think every game you have a chance in.
And guys, yeah, we're missing the most important piece here. The rallying cry that's going to take care of the locker room. The praying man. Jameis Winston. He's going to make sure that everyone is together. Like, I think, it'll be an okay season.
I think because here's the thing, right? If you're a Giant fan, it's hard because you play in such a tough division, and your expectations are always so high that maybe it is fool's gold a little bit, and the expectations are a little bit too high. But you're still the Giants, and you still have a chance to win every game that you should be winning, right? So I get why Lewis is so pessimistic about the Giants. But I think there's good in this team. I think there's good in this locker room. I think this is a good.
The Giants fan base are the whiniest, miserable fan base. I was in there. So the Giants schedule release was amazing. I loved it. And the comments underneath their stuff on X. Hideous. You Giants fans are terrible. You should get your fucking card revoked. My God. The hate that was in. I'm like, that's how you know you too deep into the forest to see the trees, because none of them could see how great that video was, and they were trashing it. They were terrible, and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with these people?"
Yo, yeah, what's wrong with you guys, though? What's wrong with you?
I can't go further into my fucking shoulders right now.
Disgruntled fan base. Their comment section showed it all. You do the most. The Niners got the most spoiled fan base. The Dallas got the most delusional, and the Giants just have the most disgruntled.
Well, you know.
The Eagles got the fucking nastiest.
The Giants front office the last couple of years hasn't really done us any favors to believe. All right. So.
But you could be happy about the team you have, and
yeah.
Or you can at least win.
You can
at the schedule, like it's just a fun video, and the hate that was in it was like, oh come on,
now
y'all are miserable people.
Now, to be fair,
you can't be more miserable than us. I'm sorry, you can't be more miserable than us.
1 minute of the schedule video. I only watched 1 minute, but the minute I did watch, it was good. It was good.
I loved it.
There you go.
I thought it was brilliant. They got every fan base perfectly.
you never got to the Niner bro who was like, yeah, I work a 9 to 5 job on the weekend. I work really hard.
You gotta watch the whole thing. What they do to the Packers, it's funny.
He's like, and then I get in my 2020 Nissan Sentra and listen to my Alpha Male podcast. It's really great. I'm like, that's great.
They represent what they did for Detroit.
Detroit was great.
The DC one was funny. They were all good. They were good.
Well, let's hope it could produce a good product on the field. You know what I mean?
Hope.
But I can see this team being good and having elite upside on defense and having good upside on offense. I gotta see it to believe it. I'm like Jess with Aaron Glenn, right? She doesn't believe in Aaron Glenn whatsoever at all. Aaron Glenn needs to win a few games to win Jess over. That's me with this gosh forsaken team. I need to see it to believe it. I need to see good football.
Do you want to know how hungry you are? You remember how much he freaked out last year when they beat the Seahawks and they were 2-2?
Yeah.
He that's all. He's just so. If they win 10 games, he's gonna be the Knicks after every win.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how delusional he's gonna become.
Yeah. If we make the playoffs, holy shit, you're not gonna hear the end of it. I'm gonna say, because like We had
And you guys will
nothing
be
going
miserable.
for us
That's the
last
funny
year.
thing.
And you will still be
You'll
miserable.
still be miserable.
You'll still be miserable.
You guys will talk yourselves out of winning the fucking playoff game.
No. Well, it depends on the
Yes, you
matchup.
will.
Depends
Yes,
on
you
the
will.
matchup.
Yes.
Because the last
God,
time they
you're
made the
playoff team
playoffs.
you're supposed to be.
Now, last time they made the playoffs, 2022, right? And that year, I will say, we did win a lot of close games. So, could history repeat itself? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But during that year, we played one of the worst defenses in the league in the playoffs. We played the Minnesota Vikings. We lost to Minnesota Christmas Eve. I remember that game. I was watching it. We lost to that team by a field goal. And after that game, I was like, man, we could beat this team. And then guess what happened? We faced them in the playoffs, spanked them up. Strap, seatbelt, click in, baby. So who knows? If the matchup's right in the wild card.
How about we win one game first?
That is true. We could just be we could start out like 0-7 and then there's no hope, right?
You could get the first overall pick.
Yeah. I mean,
we could be seeing Jackson Dart after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. Brian Daboll cannot have a job by Thanksgiving. Joe Shade could be unemployed by Thanksgiving. So this is the doom and the gloom side of the Giants' schedule.
The Giants have a very unique season. It will be very interesting to see what happens to them.
I need I need to see how this defense is gonna play. I need to see how Kayvon Thibodeau is gonna take a step up. I need to see how Abdul Carter does playing in the league.
Did he find a number?
Yeah, he did. I think he's 51. 51. Yeah. Good number. Solid number, right? I don't want to see Jackson Dart at all. At all. I don't care if we're losing horrendously and we're like 0-10. I don't want to see him at all. Sit on the sideline, rookie, learn, and develop. Shut up. I don't want to see you maybe in garbage time just to knee the ball down and hand the ball off for blowing a team out. You know what I mean? That's the only time I want to see his stupid face. That's it. All right?
Why are you calling your own quarterback stupid? What's wrong with you?
Disgruntled.
I said his stupid face. All right?
Disgruntled.
Thank you. I'm a disgruntled fan right now. All right?
Oh.
Please. Because he shouldn't even touch an NFL field this year. Shouldn't even sniff.
You don't know what you're saying when you say that. This motherfucker could turn out to be exactly what you need. Calm down.
Not this
year.
You
probably watched the field. But your hate for him already is crazy.
Thank you. Not this year, though. All right? I like my rookies to sit on the bench. Preferably. It was quarterbacks. I like my rookie quarterbacks to sit the fuck on the bench. So there you go. Thank you.
Disgruntled.
Yeah.
Disgruntled.
You guys got me angry. But who knows? We could win 10 games and then all of a sudden... What happened?
I just said you're going to win 11 games. How'd I get you angry?
No. I said I got angry because we're talking about the doom and the gloom.
Oh, it sounded like you said you got me angry.
No.
You guys got me angry.
We're talking about the doom and the gloom. That's why. We were like, oh, we could just be 0-7. Nope. Oh, well. Oh, everybody's fired. Nobody has a job. Unemployed by Thanksgiving. Yeah, real fun conversations at Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? So, but
wait.
If we win 9 games, successful season. Success.
Okay, time out. Do you have soda? You said you had soda. I need caffeine.
You want coffee? Yeah, coffee.
No, soda's fine.
All right. So after this, we're going to talk about the Jets schedule.
You can start just have the Jet conversation with her.
Jets,
if you want to.
Jets schedule. How'd you feel about it? How are we feeling? Do you have a consensus about it? Are you feeling any?
Hey, let me look at it.
Any ways?
Okay. I think okay. First of all, you can't. People make things hard for themselves, and the NFL, you swear up and down you're not writing the script. How the fuck is week 1 not part of a script? How is that not like specifically like, oh, we know Aaron's Steelers, we gotta, and they interviewed the guy who actually makes the fucking schedule, the head guy of that department that makes the schedule, and he was swearing up and down like it's a 1:00 game. Obviously, it's not like scripted. Like it's if we really knew Pittsburgh. Why would you can make that sort of a prime time game, but we don't want to. We want to think about our local affiliate. Like he buttered it up. Like, yeah, it just so happened we chose them for week 1. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
So
It's not as terrible. We've had worse schedules, to be honest.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
the purposes, division, you guys start 3-3. Okay, you're gonna split the division games. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna beat the Bills one time in this scenario. Maybe not in the regular season, but in this scenario,
then
you will
Buffalo.
beat the Bills once. So you're
And we
gonna
would
be
have to beat them on the second week.
yeah. So you're gonna be 3-3 to start. All right. So let's go through the schedule. All right. We got week 1 at Pittsburgh. How we
Nice.
feeling?
At Pittsburgh?
No.
No,
Oh,
Pittsburgh
sorry.
is
It's in MetLife. Excuse me. Week 1, Pittsburgh, MetLife. How we feel?
If it's against Rudolph, we're gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should win the opener. We really should.
Mm-hmm.
If it just so happens that Mr. Aaron Rodgers himself shows up, we're probably gonna lose because but Aaron Rodgers usually loses his first games. The first games of the season's past few years he's been losing.
And
So-
also, I will
Well, he
say,
was on the Jets' first year, so let's put an asterisk over that.
Oh, that's right. For the
Because
Jets,
he did tear his Achilles, and then he did play for the Jets.
he did. And then last year when they opened up with San Francisco, we got beat in San Francisco. So
but I will say, if Aaron Rodgers, if he there's no official thing that he's joined the Pittsburgh Steelers yet.
there's
He hasn't
none.
even.
So we don't know who
Who
their
knows if
quarterback
he's
is.
even going to be in minicamp? He might be in Egypt somewhere. Even if Aaron Rodgers does play, I still think you guys could beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think even if he plays, we have a chance. But then this is where I feel like the first test of Aaron Glenn comes in.
Mhm.
How do you play against Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
How do you play against, the Steelers? Like, because I feel like that game is 50-50. We can win or we can lose
So-
it. It's really, and I don't care who the quarterback is. It's just like, you just,
So
because we are not strong enough that I could be like, oh, we're definitely going to take game 1. I just don't feel like we are.
So for the purposes of the schedule, who do you think is going to win, you or the Steelers?
To be optimistic, and to be delusional,
And we're home.
and we're home,
Maybe,
why not?
Maybe Justin Fields wants to make a statement.
Boom,
Maybe
4-3.
Aaron Glenn.
There you go, guys. Boom, 4-3. There you go. Look at that.
I will say, this also could happen, and probably will happen. Aaron Rodgers will sign 2 weeks during minicamp. He'll sign 2 weeks during minicamp. He'll start the first game of the season against the Jets, then he'll retire. He'll beat the Jets, then he'll retire.
No,
just
no,
despite
because oh no, wait, is this the whole?
It's all schedule.
That's the whole schedule?
Yeah. So now we
No,
got,
no.
we got-
Wait. Go, slow down.
Preseason.
This is the preseason?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I thought that the Jets play the Packers, but that's the Steelers actually play the Packers.
You can see what the Packers, yeah.
Um,
So he'll stay for that one too.
he'll stay. Yeah, so he may be with the Steelers. Okay, so he said for 3-3 for the division,
Of course,
Mhm.
I agree. Let me just
and
check.
I feel like with Josh Allen there,
All right. So 4-3,
Okay.
right? To start the year, right? Week 1 with a win.
Okay.
You're going to Tampa, week 3.
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
because I think by that point we're gonna know how good Justin Fields is in this offense.
Yeah, and
We'll have some because that's a good test for this defense is at Tampa.
yeah,
'Cause- I don't think we can score with Tampa, but maybe defensively we could stop them enough. So that could be a swing game.
but I mean, but we know Baker's good,
Baker is very good.
and I don't. I think we probably. I mean, and it's a way. I say we lose.
All right.
It could be competitive, but we'll probably lose by like a point.
Yeah.
All right. 4-4. All right.
Miami, fuck Miami, even though we said that already.
Week 5 at Dallas.
Dallas.
Oh no, it's
No,
at
Dallas is a place.
it's in New York. Who do you got?
We could beat Dallas. I think we can.
Pretty hopeful.
I think we can.
Pretty hopeful.
Listen, Dallas, I get it. But I feel like if there's a team that's a bit more consistent than we are, it's probably Dallas. You know, they're just an unhappy bunch over there. They're miserable in that locker room. Dak, I feel like he's over it.
All right.
I think by week
You know.
5, we'll figure out who Dallas is pretty much right now.
But I say we win.
Okay.
I think it'd be a big win if we beat Dallas. I really do.
That'd be awesome.
We're
at home.
we are at home. I think it would be, especially coming off a Miami win, would be very, very good for. I think that's a great game for the Jets locker room.
That's a great game for Aaron Glenn.
For Aaron Glenn. So I can see about the. Fuck it, 5-4. Why not?
All right, there we go.
Then we got the Broncos. We can beat the Broncos because
we're not beating the Broncos. Jess, we're not beating
Why?
the Broncos. We're not beating the Broncos.
Why?
The Broncos are too
Why?
good.
Didn't we beat them last year?
The Broncos are too good. The Broncos have. It's in London too. We're not beating the Broncos. The Broncos.
You're terrible.
The Jets. The Broncos having their defense.
It's a neutral site.
Their
Screw
defense.
that.
Their
Fuck
defense
you,
is the leader.
Broncos.
Their defense is the
Oh,
leader.
God,
They have a leader
Jess,
defense.
Don't be too optimistic here. It is the
So
Jets.
we are not beating the Broncos.
All right, so 5 and
I
5.
don't know. Well, then I will say when we do beat the Broncos, I'm gonna laugh in both of your faces.
You can. It's not gonna happen.
That would be a big win if you could beat the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
We're both in London. Okay. I mean, what's good? No, I don't want to hear it. I get it. Denver
Do you
is a better
remember-
team. I get it. Still.
Do you remember last
They
year's
make
London?
mistakes too.
Remember last year's London game when you were like me and I said we could beat the Vikings? You remember that? Remember we got smacked by the Vikings?
I erased it from my memory.
There you go.
There you go. So is it
But
5?
the Vikings are a better team than the Broncos.
Yes.
At that time?
Wait, what'd you just say? The
Where's
Jets
the
are
Vikings
better than
good?
the Broncos?
No. I said the Vikings were better than
Vikings
the
were better than
Broncos
the.
last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's different. Come on, no, I'm putting that. I'm saying we're winning.
Do they know? Jess, do you know you guys played the Broncos last year, right? Remember that,
We
right?
did.
And guess who won?
It's a new season. It's a new season, and if we beat Dallas, we can beat Denver. And I already said we could beat Dallas.
Respectfully,
Listen,
I don't think Dallas and
respectfully,
Denver are on the same
disagree.
plane, but that's just me. That's just me. I think Denver's way better than Dallas, but hey, that's just me.
I respectfully disagree with you, Jess, but I love your optimism.
It's okay.
All right,
Disagree with
so
me.
we're going 6 and 4.
I am.
All right, there we go.
All right, she'll go 6 and 4. I'll go 4 and 5.
You mean 5 and 5?
5 and 5. Sorry, yeah, 5 and 5.
All right. Week
Okay.
7,
Carolina.
Carolina.
Now we may be going to this game.
Yeah.
Possibility.
Ooh.
You too, Lewis. So
Possibility.
it's Sunday. Request it off.
Okay. Bryce Young, improved team. However, we have home field, and we're going. So we have buys.
Yeah,
So?
so I think we can beat Carolina. Yo, if Carolina starts off as dog shit like they did last year, we're beating them.
I think Carolina is because I think us and Carolina are on a similar wavelength in terms of like talent, in terms of like how we both play. So it's a good matchup for these teams. I give the edge to the Jets just because I think their defense is a little bit better and more consistent if they're healthy. But I think it's a good matchup either less. I have us to win. I think Bryce Young will be improved, but still not at the level. And I think Justin Fields by this point, if you're coming off a win against Denver too, you have to beat the Panthers. You have to. So I think saying all that, I think we beat Carolina. I do. I have it 6 and 5.
Yeah.
Jess, 7 and 4.
I'll be beating them. 7 and 4.
Okay,
Now-
Jess, okay.
At Cincinnati.
We're gonna lose.
Okay.
We're gonna lose.
Thank God. Got them. We're gonna have a conversation.
Because so far we all know, except for Buffalo, Cincinnati is better than all the other teams we've already faced up until this point. On what week is that?
Week 8.
Week 8.
Okay.
They're better than Carolina, Denver, Dallas, Miami, Tampa, and Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So we're gonna get our asses handed to us. That's fine.
So 7 and
That's
5.
fine. You eat that one.
6 and 6.
You eat that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You eat that one. When you're playing the Bengals, you just crumble it up into a ball. You throw it away. All right, you forget about it.
Just be grateful you got to play with Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
You're on
Okay.
the same field.
You're on the same. You're Cincinnati, terrible city, good team. You move on. Bye week, week 9. Love it. Love bye week, week 9.
Bye week.
Great bye week, week 9.
Cleveland.
We destroy. We better destroy Cleveland. That better be belt to fucking ass.
Yeah.
We better destroy the Cleveland Browns and their non-quarterback roster.
I can say that too, but I feel like
No. There is no but.
okay. Okay.
This could be a Joe Flacco revenge game, though. So, like, there could be that as well.
I wish
feel like
the Giants had the Browns.
I just want to say I just don't want to under like Cleveland is trash right now, but I think once they settle on a quarterback, I don't want to underestimate.
Jess, they had that last year, and guess what? Jameis Winston was 4-13, absolute dog shit. Like they weren't a good team last year anyway.
And they traded out of the second spot.
No,
They could have had Travis Hunter. They didn't.
win. I just would not be surprised if we somehow lose.
That
Okay,
would
so
be very Jet.
And that's what I'm saying.
It would be very jetty. Would be very jetty.
The teams
very jetty.
The teams we expect to beat are the teams that actually fucking make us so stupid.
Very jetty.
So
That's what the Jets do. Very jetty. Very jetty of them.
So Jess, are you 8-5 or are you beating the Browns?
yeah, we'll beat the Browns.
All right.
I'm 8-5. She's 7. I mean, I'm 7-6.
But
She's
that's
8-5.
like a little
All right.
ash. Feel like
Okay.
New England, yeah, we'll probably
beat-
lose.
Well, 3-3, so that's fine. Baltimore.
We're gonna get our asses whooped.
I mean, look, the Giants play the NFC North. We play the AFC North. It's not great for us either. Okay, yeah, we're getting our ass handed to us. I think that's before Thanksgiving too. So that's gonna be a fun Thanksgiving game.
And then we have the Falcons.
We should beat
the Falcons.
should
We should beat the next one too.
Yeah, so we should beat the Falcons. I think so. I'm 9-8.
10-8.
She's 10-8.
That's not a real number. You can't be.
No, I'm
What?
sorry. I'm stupid.
What?
I just realized what I just.
I'm 11.
No, you're not.
seven.
Why do you keep
No.
going higher?
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
All right, so then what is
You're
it?
definitely not 11-7.
Jess, you gotta.
9-9.
Jess.
No.
I failed math.
We didn't do 18 games yet.
Oh,
We didn't do
talking
18
about?
that's why we're confused.
That's why we're confused.
Oh.
So you
didn't
said
do-
right. So Jess, I think I'm not mistaken, when you said you beat the Cleveland Browns, you were 8-5 because
Yes.
Daniel was 7-6.
Yeah.
So okay, remember that, Jess. You're 8-5 now. Remember that.
Okay, now we play the
Baltimore.
Baltimore Ravens.
You
I'm
said
7-7,
Jess,
right?
you're
So she would be
8-6.
8-7.
8-6.
I'd be
8-6.
8-6.
Yes. She's a game above me.
Yes.
Okay, so she's 8-6. I'm 7-7.
You play the Falcons.
Atlanta? I think we beat. So I'm 9.
You're 8.
No, I'm 8-7.
And I'm 9-8.
Now she's 9.
No, you're not.
No. No, you're not.
So what am I?
Jess, how
What
did
is
you
she?
fuck this up
What
so
is
bad?
she? She's 8-5.
No.
So I'd be 9.
No, she's no.
You're
No.
9-6.
No, she's not.
Okay, 9-5. Go ahead.
No, she's 9-5.
Yes, because you have 8, she has 9. If you're winning the same,
Okay.
yes.
So, all right, so I'm 8-7. No.
8-6. Jesus, should I do this for you guys? Jesus.
Yes.
All right, Daniel, go. All right, okay, Daniel, go. I'll run through it. Watch. 3-3. You play Pittsburgh. Daniel, go. Only Daniel. You beat Pittsburgh. 4-3. You play Tampa.
We beat Tampa.
You want to beat Tampa now?
No, we lose Tampa. We lose
Okay,
Tampa.
4-4. You play Dallas.
We beat Dallas.
All right, 5-4. You play Denver.
We beat Denver. We lose to Denver.
5-5. You play Carolina Panthers.
We beat Carolina.
6-5. You play the Bengals.
We lose to the Bengals.
6-6. You play the Browns.
We beat the Browns.
7-6. You play the Ravens.
We lose to the Ravens.
7-7. You play the Falcons.
We beat the Falcons.
8-7. You play Jacksonville. Come on.
We beat Jackson. We should beat
Yes.
Jacksonville.
You're 9-7
9-7.
now. All right. You play the
We beat,
Saints.
we beat 10-7.
10-7. Yeah, boom.
Sure.
10-7. Boom.
So I'm already at.
All right, Jess.
I'm
That-
1 game higher than you.
Yes, and 1 loss.
And I agree with most of what you said after all.
Okay, so she would be 11
And 6.
and 6. Boom.
Yo, Aaron Glenn, you get us 11 wins.
First year. Shit.
Now, it would be pretty jetty to go 7-10.
Would be pretty good.
That means we would be losing games that we were supposed to be winning. So we would lose a
But-
Miami game. We would be losing some against Jacksonville or New Orleans.
Now,
And they're both not here, and I still think that we can go there and beat them.
now I will say, this is just gonna hate me for saying this. If we do go 7-10, I don't hate that.
It's a little bit better than last year.
It's
so.
better than last year. It's a first-year head coach. It's a new regime, new quarterback, new system, new mentality.
Look at Justice's face.
And I know she's looking at me right now. I know. I
It's
understand
always,
it.
every year, it's always we got this, got that, this, we got that, and we still lose. So it's like, okay, that's what I'm saying. None of this is impressive.
But like
The new head coach, the new this. It's just like, okay, every fucking 2 years we get new head coaches. Every fucking 3 years we got a new quarterback. It's like, come on already.
I will say, last year we had the best team on paper. This year we don't. Okay, this is a fine, decent roster. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. I think 7 wins is very fair if everything goes well.
I think even though it's Aaron Glenn's first year, and I just don't like I said, I kind of don't trust him. I still expect him to actually still be a better head coach than Robert Saleh.
I do too.
I think our roster is less talented, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he had to put this roster together to make them mesh well. The problem was, we had amazing talent on paper the last 2 years, but Saleh couldn't get them to work. No one knew how to put those puzzles in the right places. You had all the pieces, but no one knew how to put it together. And I feel like that is the culture. That's why I'm not mad that they fired Robert. I'm like, that's what the fuck you're there for. You're there to make sure all the pieces fit, to make sure that they work, that they gel, that they connect. And that didn't happen. So I was not one of those people like, oh my God, they fired. I'm like, yeah, they should have. The one job he had, it wasn't happening. But he's going to be in the playoffs with them. So congrats.
Lewis, what's your prediction for our team?
All right, let me go through it. Let me run. All right, 3-3. All right.
3-3 division.
Pittsburgh. I think you beat Pittsburgh. 4-3. Tampa.
You love Baker.
I do love
You
me some
really do.
Baker. But I could see you guys beating Tampa. I could see it happening. I could see it.
Okay.
All right. So 5-3.
5-3.
Against Dallas.
It depends on where Dallas is at. It depends on how good they are.
I think you lose.
'Cause
To
they can
Da-
all-
I think you lose to Dallas. Right. 5-4. Right.
Okay.
Broncos. I think you lose to
You-
the Broncos.
Yeah, that's fair.
5-5.
5-5.
You beat Carolina. Right.
6-5.
6-5. Against Cincinnati. This is one of the games where I could see the Bengals offense is good, but their defense is still shite.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see a Jets upset win here. I will take a loss, but
Win game.
this could be a game where you guys
Could go either way, Jim.
So wait, what is that then? 6-6?
So, okay, if you're saying we lose 6-6,
Yeah, 6-6. Okay. You beat Cleveland, smack them up, throw them out.
we better.
7
we
and
better.
6. Against Baltimore, Week 12. I'm just saying, Baltimore always has those games where just sometimes they'll just lose to the Browns or they'll lose to the Colts, or they'll lose to the Jaguars or the Raiders.
Yeah, but guess what?
I-
Guess what? Guess
I
what?
think you motherfuckers go into Baltimore and beat them. Boom.
To beat the Ravens?
I think you listen. Now here's my theory. Baltimore, there's always these games on their schedule where they just flat out suck.
I don't think that'll be ours.
Yeah, you're forgetting we're the New York Jets.
But I'm believing right now. Can I believe? Can I have
Fine.
some faith? All right.
Fine,
I
fine.
think you beat the
You're right,
Ravens.
You're right. You're right. I'm a hypocrite. You're right.
I think you beat
You're
the
right.
Ravens. So what is that? 8-6?
8-6.
8-6. I think you beat the Falcons. 9-6. I think you beat Jacksonville, and I think you beat the Saints. 11-6.
11-6.
I can see 11-6. Now on the downside, I could see maybe like an 8-9. Could see maybe like an.
So
8.
you're on par. You're on par with Jets.
Yeah.
You just want to see. So objectively, we all have them above 10 wins,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy.
Crazy. But
I
I'm
feel
believing.
like that's why the schedule is just a schedule, because no one knows.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying.
But
But
Daniel,
that's
Daniel, it's
It's
fun.
just a schedule.
It's fun.
It's fun, and we don't know yet how all these other teams are going to be. Teams we may think are be on fire, they may end up being terrible. And not just our teams, but like
It's very.
the Lions could slide back into bullshit. They could have they could have a terrible season,
Jacksonville could be good. Trevor Lawrence can figure it out.
right? I mean,
Carolina could be really good.
Buffalo could even have a down year. This could be the year that Buffalo has a down year. Dallas could actually, but the point is they just can't do nothing. But they could actually make it to the postseason. Win a wild card, maybe. The Chiefs may struggle. They may be 9-9. 9-8, whatever it is.
9-8.
The Niners should clock up these wins. They got like the easiest schedule.
But should's a big word.
Yeah.
Should's a big word because they should have been in the NFC Championship game last year.
They should have.
Well, they've been doing. They have like these charts, like their patterns, and they're either in the NFC Championship, Super Bowl, or they don't make it to the playoffs. Like there's no in between with that team. They're either at the top or they're at the bottom, and they had their bottom last year, so they may make their way to somewhere in the playoffs at least.
I would like that. I'd like that, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But for our Brock Purdy argument, it would be fantastic. So, like, if Brock Purdy wants to get money,
I don't think they should play. I think they should wait. Let him play this season. Like, why do you have to give it to him right now? You don't have to.
Yeah, I think that's just the culture now within sports. Is like you've seen me do it, so it's like I want the guaranteed future for my family and everything and stuff.
But it's also like the quarterback market. Next year's just going to be more expensive. But if he doesn't perform well, you don't have to pay him that tag. You go get another quarterback then. And if he does perform very well, then you're more comfortable paying him that type of money.
Yes.
So I don't know why they should not rush this. They should not.
Then, if his agents are smart, they'll be like, yesterday's price is not today's price. So pay.
But I think we'll be okay with that if they had a successful season.
I would agree.
If they get to the playoffs and at least win 1 or 2 playoff rounds, they could be more comfortable. Like, all right, he's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
You know how I feel about Brock.
He's for some reason like the biggest question mark.
For good reason.
Like out of all the quarterbacks in like the league, he's the biggest question mark.
Because he had an okay year last year, and he was a big part of the championship team, but he wasn't the main focal point of it. He wasn't the reason they got that far, and he's the reason why they lost Super Bowl. When push came to shove, he lost the Super Bowl for them in the second half.
They also didn't know the fucking overtime rules.
But he was.
That's kind of ungodly.
But if Brock Purdy plays better, there's no overtime.
I wouldn't say he lost them the Super Bowl. I would say Kyle Shanahan lost them the Super Bowl.
He's your quarterback. You got to put responsibility on him in those games. I'm sorry.
All the time?
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying you can blame Kyle, but you got to blame him as well.
Okay, then we'll just blame the whole team.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
The
can't
second half was
just do this thing
the
where we just
second half,
single
they were
out Brock Purdy
terrible
because
in
it's
the
Brock
second half,
Purdy
were
and
they
it's
not?
fun, right? Shitting on Brock Purdy is
But
fun,
he's the
but it's
quarterback,
not
so
like
you have to.
They didn't
We
start-
hold quarterbacks to the standard, do we not? That they are the main focal point of the team and the face of the team, do we not? So when you lose, their responsibility is on their shoulder.
you know what's
Yeah,
funny.
they
You know what's
stand for
funny.
the
You want to know
media,
something?
they answer all the questions. They do all of that.
You want to know what's funny? We don't do that for Josh Allen when he plays in playoff games because he plays good.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
We
You
question
want to know
it.
why?
We
Because he plays damn good. Plays damn good. And Brock Purdy in that Super Bowl, guess what he played? Damn good. Played
I wouldn't
damn
say
good.
he-
It wasn't
he played-
perfect.
he
It wasn't the
played
greatest
good.
thing, and it wasn't the greatest thing to slice bread I've ever seen. But in terms of his first Super Bowl and being this guy who's like the overachiever of his draft, played damn good.
I mean, but that Super Bowl was also just an example of how the Chiefs dominate on your mistakes.
Mhm.
And that's what makes it very dangerous to losing against them because you won't trip over yourself. They'll just dominate you when you make the mistake. It's like, I don't know. It's enough to blame.
Yeah.
Enough to blame to go around for that one. But I feel like, I'm excited for the season.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for the Jets, but I'm excited to see what the league does.
I need to see this Giants team perform at some point, and it would just be very nice to see them like look functional on offense and look functional on defense. It would be nice.
I think we both have that about our team.
Yeah.
These two teams really need to get it together. Like New York has two football teams that fucking just suck.
Yeah,
I feel like they need to fix that.
we have a great basketball team. We have two great baseball teams. We have a decent hockey team.
The WNBA team just
Our
won.
WNBA team just won. And
It's
then
our football
then-
programs that just can't get it together.
and then you get to the winter.
You get to the fall and you're like, oh yeah, the other two teams. We're like the bastard children of the NFL. You get that? It's like we're in the biggest teams, the biggest city in the country, and we have like worst football.
The Giants
biggest
and
city-
Jets are walking around like, can I have some more? Can I have
Yeah.
some porridge? Do you mind sparing
Can
a
we-
few
can I afford the
dollars
fucking
in my
rent?
basket? In there?
Yeah, we couldn't afford it right in New York, so we had to move to Jersey.
Oh. Hey, Rangers and Yankees and Mets, do you mind sparing a little bit?
Yeah.
Great.
Please,
Just make some
we've been in
porridge.
poverty
porridge.
for a very long time.
Just a penny. Just one penny.
Oh,
Just-
shit.
Just a sliver, don't plate this. Just a sliver.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Can I have a biscuit? Just a biscuit and tea.
7
That's gonna be
wins.
the-
That's all I need is 7 wins.
And they're looking at the fucking two teams like, get away from me, scum. Ugh. Don't know you can't sit with us.
Mm.
Rangers, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them.
You should-
Come
Yeah,
over
we
here.
feel bad. They've been there for a long time.
Mm.
Because they're idiots. Leave them alone.
You should be happy I'm even gracing the riffraff
Yeah,
with
rub
my
off on you
presence.
in the
Mm. Yes. Mm.
Oh, the Rangers go talk to them. They rubbed off their shittiness on them. That's what happened.
The Jets went to that NHL playoff game.
Yeah,
last
Jets playoff
year.
game, that's what happened. Sauce Gardner is the reason why the Rangers suck this year. That's what
Aaron
happened.
was at that game too when they
Yeah.
were in the playoffs. We jinxed them.
And you know what? I haven't seen any Jet players at the Knicks games.
No, because they're not happy.
For good
they
fucking
know.
reason. Because
They-
they're
they-
fucking
they-
bad luck right now and they need to chill out.
You just stay away.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see who's there tonight.
It's going to be
Timmy
Timothy Chalamet, Kylie
Kylie
Jenner,
Jenner.
Ben Stiller, Spike Lee.
No. I have to say, when I first heard about Timmy and Kylie, I was kind of like, oh, come on. I kind of like them now as a couple.
They're not bad.
All
They're
it
not
took
bad.
was 3 home
They're-
games.
they're
And all of
normal.
a sudden, PR's changed.
I feel like she genuinely smiles like when she's with him, and I feel like he's like, okay, I got the hot girlfriend, the popular girl.
You know what? There's no drama.
Yeah.
No
they
drama
seem
from that
very
family.
happy. I like them.
They'll break up in 5 weeks. So, we'll see. Right.
I hope not.
It always starts out like this with celebrities. Oh, yeah, it seems great on the
Oh,
surface.
yeah,
And then they
oh,
go
yeah,
home
for a
and it's
while.
awful. And it's like,
Pretty good for a Jenner and a Kardashian.
Well, listen, the Kylie girl, she dated Tiger for years. She was with Travis Scott for a while. She'll be with him for a while. Kim is the one that goes through guy after guy after guy.
Yeah.
Chloe is just rotating between Tristan and she's just, just him, always Tristan. That she's never going anywhere.
Courtney is
Courtney's married.
She's very loyal
Travis
as well.
Walker.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
The Courtney one? The
I
oldest one?
don't know who that is.
Kendall,
I forgot,
what's
you guys-
Kendall doing?
She's with Bad Bunny.
No,
Don't know who
not
Kendall
right
is.
now though. They used to be.
They were together at the game, I think.
No, they weren't.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. As a Bad Bunny enthusiast, for everybody who's watching this video, as a Bad Bunny enthusiast, I know he's not with her because they broke up. He talks about it in the
No,
song.
he definitely broke up, but that doesn't.
Uh-oh.
Because he was at the game the other night, wasn't he?
He was
He
at the
was.
game, but he's not with her.
I think they were right next to each other.
No, they weren't.
I think they were.
Jess, if I'm right, are you going to say I'm right?
I will say it, but I don't remember.
He was
that.
with his boys.
Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny spotted at the NBA playoff.
But are they together? No,
They're
they're not.
literally. Would it go down for them? They were spotted enjoying Game 4 at the NBA playoffs just 1 week after their unexpected reunion at the 2025 Met Gala. The former couple had another surprise encounter, and they keep happening. So they keep running into each other at the same events. You think that's a coincidence? No, it's not. They're obviously still fucking around. Maybe not in a relationship, but they still smashing.
They're not together. If you listen to his music, they're not together.
To be together,
Thank you.
but they are still messing around with each other.
That was my claim to begin with. They're not together, so
That's
I'm
not what
right. Thank you. What do you want? What do you
That's
want
not
from
what he
me?
was trying to say. Anyway,
Thank you.
They're FWBs.
Probably, maybe, if I had to guess.
anyway, the Jets will probably be at the Knicks.
Knicks play tonight, by the way. So hopefully,
They do.
please, if Luke Cornett
Please
is
God.
the fucking
They're
X
the only
factor
game on
again,
TV.
we're gonna have a fucking problem. Luke Cornett.
If they win this game, Jalen Brunson, go to the champion. Go all the way.
Jalen Brunson, top 5 Knick of all time. If he was,
I think they can beat the Wolves.
I think so too. I think they could beat the Pacers.
Is the Nuggets still there?
Game 7. Steph play Game 7.
Could they beat Denver? Might be a little tough,
If they beat,
but I think they could.
I think they can.
They have a
don't
realistic
want to-
shot because the Boston
I
Celtics
don't
were
want
their
to-
hardest cup.
Jalen Brunson walks around with this dog in him. He just one of those players, he's just ready. Like I feel like, no, I think as long as you got him, you got a shot.
Don't want to say anything. Jinx anything. I'll say this about tonight's game. If the Knicks stay out of foul trouble, if their starters all perform, and they're able to get good minutes from Cat, and Cat's able to be the player he's supposed to be, they will win tonight's game very easily. This should not be a game they struggle in if everybody does what they're supposed to do. The reason why they lost Game 5 is because OG didn't show up offensively, Brunson fouled out, and Cat was soft. Okay? If you could flip all 3 of those things in this game, you win that game so easily. So easily. And I think I've seen this team make adjustments in this series, and they have to do it again. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, and it's a very real possibility that they don't, and they play some of the game and play the Game 5, we're going to a Game 7. We're not winning that Game 7. Okay? This is the most must-win of must-wins for the Knicks tonight. And if they don't come away with the win, it'd be very disappointing and very low expectations into winning that Game 7. But you need your starters, and it is going to have to be your starters because the bench isn't doing shit in the playoffs. It is going to have to be your starting 5 that produce the most. I think it's possible. I'm hopeful. I think they could do it, but I'm also on the side where I've seen the story before and I've seen it playing out before, and I could very easily see them losing this game. So I want to say they're going to win with confidence, but I just don't have that confidence because of how they played in Game 5. But this is a game they have to win. This has to be the one that they win, because that Game 7 in Boston is going to be very hard.
If they don't win tonight, they're going to. So they do have to. They need to treat tonight like it's their championship.
That being said, also, fuck Boston.
Fuck Boston.
Awful place.
Fuck Boston. Fuck Philly.
Fuck Philly.
Out of the Northeast, you guys aren't.
Indiana? The fuck is that?
They're too far.
They're too far.
Yeah,
They're too far to fall.
Talk
I'm
about
talking about the people we're in between.
Cleveland? Who the fuck is that? Got fucking spanked. Shitty place. Nobody want to go over there. Flyover state. Pussy.
Ohio is not a flyover state.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
Carolina flyover.
Cleveland is
They have
people. You never have you ever heard somebody say, "Hey, I'm going on vacation to Cleveland"? You never said
got
that.
like 3 large cities. I don't think that's a flyover state. It's not like a Kansas or like.
Have
a New
you
Mexico.
ever heard of somebody saying, "I am going on vacation to Cleveland"? Never. You never hear it. Joakim Noah once said it, and it's true. Nobody goes to Cleveland and likes it. Genuinely. Nobody.
No, but it's not a no-name state. They got millions and millions and millions of people. They got
Okay,
major city. I mean, they got huge sports, big sports fucking state. Okay, between college and professionals, this is not. They're not. I would not consider them a lowly
Cleveland
state.
Okay, wait.
It's not just Cleveland.
Wait.
Dump.
I got a test.
And I'm talking about like overall, not just like football
I got a test.
or basketball.
If you weren't a sports fan, besides Cleveland, could you name 3 states in Cleveland? Or 3 states?
Cities in Ohio.
3 states in Ohio.
Columbus, Cincinnati, Toledo.
Now. How do you know about Columbus? What's in Columbus?
College.
What college?
Ohio State.
If you didn't know sports.
Listen, first of all, Ohio's very big during the elections too, so it's not
Ohio.
That's what we're talking about.
I'm saying name a city in Ohio. We're not talking about the state itself.
Cincinnati, Columbus.
Awful.
And
nobody
there's
who
Toledo,
cares about
there's
Cincinnati either.
Akron.
Nobody cares.
You don't know about Akron.
I don't have, but I know
You don't know.
there.
If you didn't watch
Right
sports, you didn't know.
Jess. Akron is a dump. Akron's a dump. Stop.
No one. Did I say these are places that are pretty? I never said that.
But that's
I
what,
never
that's,
said
but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about dumps here.
They are. I'm just saying. Cleveland as a city, yeah, it's a dump. But I'm saying Ohio overall is not irrelevant. You would have to be naive and intellectually stupid to think Ohio is irrelevant.
Hey, guess what? Cleveland got smacked in 5. It's a dump. The whole state.
Yeah, I don't care about Cleveland. I'm talking about Ohio overall.
The whole state, a dump. Whole state, dump. Dump. The Browns suck. Bengals, we got no defense. Trash.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Who's our hockey team?
You know I don't pay attention to hockey
Who the
like
fuck
that. So
knows? No one. What about the
What about,
yeah?
Wasn't their baseball team though just in the playoffs last season?
They lost to the Yankees.
Get smoked
They
by the
did.
Yankees.
They were there.
Dump.
They were there.
Dump.
And then the Yankees turned around and got spanked. So it's not
Hey,
like
hey! I would rather get spanked in the World Series than the wild card and divisional. Hey, I'd rather get spanked in the World Series. Spank me in front of all these people, in front of all these fans. Do it. I don't want to get spanked in the division.
saying overall, don't crap on Ohio.
No. It's a
Yeah.
fly. It's a flyover city. It's a flyover. No one cares. No one cares. No one's ever like, yeah, Ohio for vacation, guys. Let's go. Woo.
And Jeff, what's a flyover state in your opinion?
What's a flyover state then?
States where there's like literally zero and where there's
Name it.
no
Name it.
where
Go.
there's New Mexico, there's
They have a dam in
North
Mexico.
Dakota.
That's our first one, South Dakota.
This Kansas state, not even Kansas, Missouri. Okay, so Kansas, the actual state. Nebraska.
I agree.
Nebraska's fair.
Wyoming.
Yep.
Alabama is a flyover state. And I have family in Alabama. Half my family lives there. It's a flyover state, okay? Mississippi.
Yep.
And they have they're real flyover where no one under any are talking about like they're just in the union.
Yep.
Ohio is not like that. Ohio is a juggernaut when it comes to politics. It's a juggernaut in sports. Famous people come from Ohio.
It's the same. Just throw them in there. Throw them in the bucket. Whatever. You know, when you hear the name Ohio, are you like, ooh? Nobody does that.
No, and I'm not. But no one really goes, oh, like what's in Ohio? Like you have to be a person who's never left your house. Say that.
Jess, what's in Ohio? Other than the Buckeyes or the Cavs?
But you're forgetting those are big things. Those are big things. Those are not small things.
But then you can say that about every state.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
All those states I just named, they don't have any of that.
Okay, hold on.
They have one good school.
They have
Alabama.
They do, but that's it. What?
Alabama has the best, the greatest, the most important college football program in the country of the United States.
They literally produce nothing else. That's all I'm saying. Some of these places I named produce nothing.
Hold on. Ooh, Ohio has not just college football, but basketball too. Ooh, it's so grand.
Literally like 1 million people in those states. So those are flyover states where there's no one literally there. That's what you can't say that about Ohio. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Daniel, we're here.
We're here.
Thank you.
You guys are much younger, so I understand.
We're here,
understand.
baby. Come on.
Yeah.
I used to think Ohio was nothing too when I was.
Hey, listen.
20.
Hey, you want to know something? Me and Daniel never gonna go to Ohio. What's there?
Never
Nothing.
You too. You would go to Ohio if your teams were there. You would. If they're playing in the playoffs and they're going.
Well, the only reason I would go to Ohio
is
the Hall of Fame.
Look, they even. So I was like, stop.
Not even that.
Ohio is not.
If I wasn't a football fan and you weren't a football fan, and you wasn't a football
country,
we wouldn't know about Canton existing.
Listen.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Would you know Canton existed if it wasn't a football Hall of Fame?
Football and no Canton. There are
bullshit.
people who know.
Just come on, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
The same way people who don't watch baseball also know where the baseball, where it's in.
People who don't watch baseball have no idea what Cooperstown is. 100%.
Listen, these things get talked about in mainstream media. People hear about them.
Bullshit.
Not bullshit.
People who don't follow sports have no idea what Cooperstown is.
You're really overestimating how many people actually like sports in the world. It's a lot of people, but there is a very big market of people who.
You're underestimating how broad the media is, though. You're underestimating how people do pay attention sometimes.
People will say, "Oh, Football Hall of Fame." They won't go, "Oh, where is that?"
Listen, the point is, I stand by my statement. Oh,
and
I
guess
would not.
What, Jess? Even if they know where the Football Hall of Fame is, they're not fucking going to Canton, Ohio.
No, the point is, what I'm trying to say is that Ohio is not as irrelevant as you're making it to be.
It's pretty irrelevant.
That's all I'm saying. You're looking at it through one context. I'm talking about it's an impactful place. It's not a small space. It's literally one of the most populated states in the union. A lot of fucking people live there.
All right.
A lot of shit goes on there.
All right, we gotta move on.
Daniel,
we're talking Ohio half an hour. We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
We're here, Daniel. We're here.
We gotta move on. All right.
Not fighting me.
All right. Gotta move on. Anyway. Fucking Ohio. Ohio took a half marathon. Isn't that amazing?
Hey, but they also got Shedeur Sanders now. So boom. They're super relevant right now.
All right.
Watch that be the one clip that goes viral from us. The debate over Ohio. New Yorkers fighting about Ohio.
Swear to God. All right, Derek Carr retired. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. Derek. Nah, but it sucks. Seeing somebody retire over an injury, that does suck.
I mean, hopefully he's all right. You know.
Yeah, it's a freak thing, you know.
Like, you would like to see him go out on his own terms, like everybody would, but it's just not life. So, yeah, Derek Carr, listen, he had that one great year where the Raiders made that.
But I think that's what makes it kind of sad is that he's always been just average, and we never really got to see him, except for that 1 year, truly be like a top-tier quarterback. and you don't seem old. You don't. But it's just, the team you're on barely wants you, and you're injured. So
But
it's like,
you want to know what it is? He probably could. He's still young enough where he could come back.
he could be someone's backup.
It's not like, but I think it's like what Andrew Luck did was like, look, I'm done. I'm never coming back. I had made my money. I've won my games. So he could be doing a Andrew Luck very easily, but I don't know. I think I've always thought he's good enough to be somebody's backup, or at least an aging veteran with some wisdom. And he probably could come back as a coach in some capacity, but it's unfortunate what happened to him.
Yeah. Sucks, yeah. But what's not unfortunate? Derrick Henry gets a contract extension.
Isn't that crazy how we're doing 180 on running?
Good.
Yeah, it's almost like they're pretty fucking important.
You would think, right? Oh, you're 30 years old, but you're so useful? Yeah, we'll pay you.
Maybe these other positions that they're finally getting paid will help balance out the market on how much quarterbacks should be getting paid.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a natural neutralizer. You can't keep paying $75 million for quarterback because you need a Saquon, you need a Derrick Henry, you need someone who's going to get you that yardage. So
I will say these guys are like the elite of the elite. These aren't just some Joe Schmoes and like a top 15 running back. These are guys who are the creme de la creme of running back. So you damn sure better pay the creme de la creme. You damn sure.
Yeah. And because you have to pay them, you have to think twice about paying a mediocre fucking quarterback.
That's correct.
Like, I get it. Pay Josh. Pay Lamar. Pay Joe. Pay Patrick. When Jaden Daniels' time comes, pay him if he's still good. CJ Stroud, pay these people. But why does Trevor Lawrence? Who else got $50 million? Herbert. I mean, I was shipping him out last season, but Harborough, maybe they can fix this.
Kirk at $100 million.
Kirk. I mean, there was someone else, Tua, who can't do a whole season, gets 60. Like, it's. I feel like teams, don't pay a mediocre quarterback. Invest in the team around him. Pay the wide receiver. Pay the running back. Pay the fucking tackle. I don't understand. Just because you're a quarterback, why do you have to get paid top tier and you can't get nobody to the playoffs?
Because we hold them to the highest pedestal.
That's got to get corrected.
It does, but that's just how this business goes. Football, they view the quarterback as the most important position on the field. It's been all media driven. They get the most attention. They get the most questions asked about them. They do the most work.
Yeah, they do. They do the most work. Their ball's in their hand. They do lead the team. I understand. And it is the most important position. But I think because of the amount of money that's getting there now, you can't ignore the other pieces that are proving to be better than the fucking quarterback on the team. You have to extend people like Derek. You have to extend people like Saquon. Especially if you have an elite quarterback, you need to pay him like a fucking team because you want to keep him upright. You want to make sure unlike what they did with Joe Burrow, he had an excellent season, had nothing to show. Half the team there. You didn't get anybody good, injury, whatever. So I'm saying maybe this, paying the elite quarterbacks, the elite other positions will balance out the quarterback market.
And also the salary cap is going up. So the salary cap is going up each year because they're making more money. So there's going to probably be more leeway given to a running back, even if they're not like top 10, right? They're going to get more money than they would have, let's say, 10 years ago, right? Just based off of the average. So now if what they would have got like $5 million a year 10 years ago, now they're getting like 8. And that's like the baseline. You know what I mean? So they're going to probably get paid more as the years go on and as more money is made.
And look, they make them, especially if they're rookies, they make quicker impacts than some of the veteran quarterbacks. So it's like, pay people. Pay them. You got the bread. That's the thing. The bread is there.
Yep.
One person can't get paid all of it, though. You have to we have to evolve from that somehow. They may introduce a max contract for quarterbacks. I think they should.
I think they should too. I think it makes the most sense.
I feel like you can't touch fucking 65, 70 million until you get to like
a threshold.
And the threshold needs to be like the conference championship. Like if you get out of the second round playoffs, then you can get like a $60 million. Even if you lose the conference championship. Because that's far.
No, that's
why are we paying someone 100 million and you're a fucking 500 team? That's a poor threshold.
But then you could make the argument too that okay, Daniel Jones could be eligible for a max because he won a playoff game.
It could be a number of playoff games. One playoff game to me is not enough.
To you it might not be, but to when they're doing the bargaining agreement, one should be enough.
Well,
because the playoffs are so rare, and it's so rare to win one.
But I feel like
no, Trevor Lawrence could qualify for a max, Justin Herbert cannot.
But there's ways to do that. Okay, so when was the last time he had? Okay, Trevor Lawrence. When was that? 2 years ago? You're not eligible for that anymore. They should have given you the max contract.
That doesn't work like that.
Hey, guess what, Jess? In theory,
what I'm saying is you need to have some type of standard here. And the sad thing is the NFL doesn't have a standard
when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah. In theory,
and owners can change that.
They can.
In theory,
you're right.
That's what I'm saying. It can be done.
Me and Daniel were both with you because it's rewarding actual success. But the players ain't falling for that shit. They'll never go for it. It will never be practically done. Never will.
I believe we can find common ground. And unfortunately, the players, you have the weakest CBA. You got the weakest union. You probably won't win the argument. Because your next option is fine. Sit it out. We'll just pay the next person who's willing to take the paycheck. So I feel like while the owners have control, unlike the NBA, you can finally set some limits here. I am not against players getting paid. I'm against paying bad players and your team suffering. I think that's everything. We can all agree on that.
They've had these talks before about a salary cap in the league, and the owners are probably like,
sure.
or like a salary cap on positions, and the owners are like, no.
Why would the owners not want a salary cap?
I have no idea why, but you would think that they would probably like have a max contract like system like the NBA does. But
the max contract because if you do a max contract, then a lot of that has to be guaranteed, and that's probably why they don't want to do it.
Yeah,
because I don't want to guarantee the max. Down max, I just don't want to, and that's where the split probably is happening.
And also with maxes, you run the risk of colluding and super teams getting formed and certain players certain teams.
Can you really do a super team in unless it's like naturally and organic, like Cincinnati? You got those three heads on the offense. But that's kind of like naturally organic happened. You didn't know that they were going to gel like this.
Because that's drafting, and that's good drafting by the Bengals that did that, right? And a lot of teams would have to do what the Bengals did. If you get a max, it becomes the player being like, "Oh, I'm going to go there because they're there. I'm going to sign my max there because I think we can win a championship together." You know what I mean? Whereas if you don't have that, the players have more freedom to explore and get a bigger contract elsewhere because this team that's not as popular, not as good, is giving me more money. Whereas if everybody's giving the same amount of money, I'm going to go to the team that I know I can win with that, and that's the better team. That's what the max would do. And that now certain teams forever who have been sucky forever will have to bank on the draft and develop better, which is a good system in and of itself, but it also leads to you losing a lot of games, a lot of losing seasons in a row. That's why teams like the Jazz and the NBA, the Pelicans.
So listen, if we have a max, do we have to do it the same way that the NBA does it?
You don't. Objectively, you don't. But if we're going off the NBA concept, that's what would happen.
I think we could probably take some of their concept, but we don't have to do exactly what they did because it's on. I mean, I feel like football is very hard to build unless you're the fucking Chiefs and the Patriots. Like, it's very hard to build those types of rosters that last years and years together.
Well, those teams are very good at drafting and developing. That's what it comes down to at the end. Like Andy Reid's a great developer. Bill Belichick was a great developer, and he drafted well. He drafted good, solid players. All those Bill Belichick teams were the same because whenever they came in, they knew what they were getting into. They knew how to play. Andy Reid's the same way. Philly's the same way. Who's the other team? Even Detroit now is the same way. You get drafted there, you know how you're playing, and you know how you're getting developed.
Green Bay is a good place.
It's why Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the Bears because he knew they couldn't develop quarterbacks. Allegedly, he allegedly said that.
Speaking of Caleb,
I mean,
I don't know. How do you feel about Caleb Williams trying to get out of Chicago
before the draft, I mean,
for the draft? Now he's stuck there, but
Me and Jeff are
point.
having this conversation. Go ahead.
I mean, he made some great arguments. I mean, listen, the Bears. When was the last successful quarterback they've had? Jay Cutler, smoking Jay Cutler.
Wait, it was his father that made these comments, though, right?
I think so, or was it him? Because, like, listen, like, as an NFL prospect, you are scared of going to a situation that isn't exactly, not even like ideal, but it's not even like
your career before it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Carl Williams, his father, Caleb's father, said Chicago is the place where quarterbacks go to die. Wow,
that's a real football fan right there.
And then Caleb wandered aloud to confidant. Do I want to go there? I don't think I can do it with the former offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Yeah, and it seems like
his father tried to.
And this was like, I don't want my son playing for the Bears. Williams told several agents.
The rookie cap is just unconstitutional. What?
The CBA is worst piece of shit I've ever read. It's worst in sports history. That's fair.
It's true.
That's he's not wrong about that. Caleb told his father, I need to go to the Vikings after a meeting with Connell. That's fair. They said, let's do it. But the Bears weren't going to do that.
And then the GM, Ryan Poles, came out and was like, we're drafting you.
We're not trading our spot. Because that's what they would have had to have done in order for him to go to Vikings.
And like this is what me just talking about before. Like, this is very reminiscent of the what Eli and Philip Rivers did, right? Where Eli wanted to go to the Giants, and he made sure that he went to the Giants. And if it wasn't for the Eli Mafia, then Eli would have been a Charger.
The Manning
Mafia. But also, too, like, the Chargers were getting a good quarterback. Like, Philip Rivers was, him and Eli Manning were right here. They were really good coming out of the draft. So the Chargers weren't losing a lot. If you're the Bears and you're trading with the Vikings to go all the way down to the mid-20s, you're not getting a good quarterback in that spot, at least at Caleb Williams' level. That's why the Eli-Philip Rivers trade worked, because both quarterbacks were good enough and talented enough to be traded together. And that's why Eli got what he wanted, why Philip got what he wanted. Philip didn't care. Philip wasn't going anywhere. But you had two good quarterbacks there. The Bears weren't going to do that. And I get what Caleb's father was saying. I get what Carl was saying. And he's not wrong about the Bears being a terrible place for quarterbacks to go. But at the same time, the Bears, this offseason, has prepared Caleb the best they possibly can. They gave him an O-line. They gave him wide receivers. Somewhat of a running back, I guess. And they have a good defense. So it now becomes on Caleb Williams to come out and really perform, and whether or not he wants to be a Brett. Right? Because he has had motivational concerns before. He did it at USC. And it seems like he might be starting to do it now. We don't know.
Well, at USC, I mean, it's a bit different. The NFL will humble you. You pretty much got shut down right away. You're not going to Vikings, you're coming here. And then he supposedly had threatened that he would just play in the UFL.
He did say that, yeah.
I don't believe... he probably said it, but I think if he had half a brain, that would be bullshit. Because you would never trade away the NFL for the UFL unless you're fucking brain dead. So you wouldn't do that, Caleb. You can stop pretending. Because people would do that now to get what they want from teams. Go to the UFL. Is that going to be like the new threat tactic? We're going to go to the UFL.
Yeah, I'm going to play every Saturday in the spring. I'm going to play.
No one watches
Arizona. It's the Atlanta Battlehawks. super fun.
But I mean, he's also okay. But they got a new head coach, right? They got a new head coach.
Ben Johnson.
So I mean, you have to give this coach a shot. He is coming from a winning team. You know, you don't have the confusion of Eberflus and whatever mess they were doing when he was there. But I mean, also remember, I just think it's funny how athletes just like, especially college kids, just coming to the pros, just demanding shit right away. Now, we have to give him some bail. He was a first round draft pick. So, okay, you can come in with a little, I am the belle of the ball. So, listen to me. I can understand that. I can understand that concept. But at the same time, it's like, this is how the NFL is structured. The worst team gets the first pick. If you don't want to be the first pick, drop yourself to round 3 and 4 and see where that gets you in contract. Like, unfortunately, that's just how it is. And I think if you think you are as great as you are, then maybe you could be the one to turn around what's happening in Chicago. Maybe you can finally be the quarterback that lets them have a consistent winning team. You get into the wild card years, your next 4 or 5 years, you make Chicago truly like a contender in the NFC North. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know if he'll have like motivation because it's the NFL. The motivation is your ass is cut. Well, I mean, how much more motivation do you need? You either want to play football or you don't. You want to go play in Canada? Like, what's the motivation you're looking for?
Hey guys, I'll sign with the CFL. All right, don't tempt me. Don't push me. I will sign with the CFL. If you don't.
I don't think it's like it's an NFL thing. I think he just doesn't want to be in Chicago. And if that's the case, then you let your contract run out, and then you don't start this shit in year 2.
I do think that this all came out because some book is being written, and his father gave commentary on the book, saying so. That's how we're now. I mean, these were rumors last year, and people just weren't signing off on it because it was just rumors. But now we know the truth. But
Deion Sanders said to people before, "I don't want my son going to the Browns because they're a terrible organization." Like we've had this conversation before, and Deion did not want his son going to the Browns. And what happened? He went to the Browns. So you can say what you want to say. Guess what? You're getting drafted where you're getting drafted.
Yeah.
I think people need to accept the fact that the NFL itself is the mafia. You're not going to go to the mafia with the guns blazing. You just can't. Sometimes you will get your way. Sometimes that will happen. But I think when you're just a rookie or you're in your second year, you're not a Patrick Mahomes. You're not a Tom Brady. You are not even. So it's like you coming out like, I'm not going here. I'm there. Like, who do you think you like? No, yeah, you're going to the Browns in the 5th round. We're gonna make you sit. Like that whole thing was to spite Deion. It wasn't to spite Shador. I think the NFL wanted to send Deion a message like, your kid is your kid, but you're out of the league. Yeah, you're close to us, and yeah, but you're not gonna dictate what we do with our team, with our teams. You know, if Shador was the number 1 draft pick like Caleb Williams was, he probably wouldn't have gone to Cleveland. You know, but you're not that type of talent, so you're not your father's talent, not yet. So I hope it works out for him in Chicago. But you got a gauntlet going on up there, so good luck.
And that's what he has to endure. He's probably going to have another losing season. He's probably going to have a team that's not going to win a lot of games. Is he going to be okay with that? Can he live with that? Does he care about his legacy in that regard? These are the questions that have to be answered now.
I mean, if you want to be an NFL quarterback, what do you think? Like, I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. You know, this is what defines great players. When the going gets tough, do you cry in a corner, or do you stand up and fight back? And from what we've seen from Caleb Williams in the past, when the going got tough, he went to go cry in a corner.
You know who could have had this attitude, and he didn't have this attitude, and he went to that team and turned that organization around. Even though this past season we saw that the organization itself is clearly dysfunctional. You saw what Joe Burrow did with the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
That was a laughing stock before he got there. Talk about no one knew nothing about Ohio. Bengals force and Chad Johnson. No, And look, he didn't say, I don't want to go to. You can't put me there. He just fucking won a national championship, unlike Caleb Williams. And he didn't even have that attitude. He kept it humble. He went to work. And year 2 they were in the Super Bowl? And look at him now. So I mean, you got to take a page. You got to take a page out of the book. Just keep your head down, do the work. And if the Bears, and we all know the Bears are dysfunctional, it'll show that they're dysfunctional with or without, that it's not really your fault. Because now we see it wasn't Justin Fields' fault. That's just them. Don't make it worse for yourself by going in with a bad attitude.
Anything to add, Lewis?
Huh?
Anything to add?
Nah, you guys said everything. Yeah. Like, it's just funny because it's like the NFL's literally like, yeah, shut up. You're coming to the Bears. Doesn't matter what you want. You could want... Look, I want a lot of things in life, right? I would love to have an ice cream truck. I would love to have 20-foot ceilings. I would love to have all the shoes in the world. But shut up, and you're not going to have that. How about you shut up and that's it, right?
Well, going to paint his nails and go to the club of models. You know, that's all he
exactly.
wants.
That's all he wants, right? So my thing is like, I
think he's going to have a good second year. I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be better than last year.
Like, and I think he was more talking about, like, with Caleb specifically, the regime than the franchise. The father was talking about the franchise. A lot of these fathers and a lot of these parents, they love to yap, don't they?
Listen, people will tell you the parents are the problem in sports. It's not the athletes. It's the parents. That guy got kicked out of the Pacers.
Oh, Halliburton's dead.
You know how embarrassing that is?
Banned for life.
Like, embarrassing. Like, you're a fucking adult, bro. You're like, you have no respect for your son's legacy. For your son playing, you want to get all up in other people's faces and just yap and yap. It's just like, what is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand. Like,
there's no level of self-control when it comes to helicopters, especially in sports. They have one solo mindset, and that my son or daughter needs to be great, and I'm gonna fight anybody who tries to deny that greatness, whether it's the coach, the other players, or the opposing team.
And what sucks is that usually ends up biting the player in the ass.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like you're not helping your kid.
At some point, you have to let your kid just be themselves and figure it out on their own, because that's what sports are. Sports, guess what? Majority of the time in sports, you're gonna lose. But your number one lesson is that you get up and you fight back, and you don't quit on any play. That's the greatest thing about sports, is that it's never a game. It's always going to humble you, but it's always going to let you develop, make you have a development of fighting back and being hardworking. And parents that don't allow that never set their kids up for greatness. They only deny it. And if you're Halliburton's dad, you becoming a bigger story than your son, that's a problem.
Especially when your son is winning.
Especially when you haven't had an NBA career your entire life and you're just a dad. Like Deion, that's the Hall of Fame player. All right, of course he's going to be in the media. Of course he's going to be.
And he's a coach.
And he's a coach.
In the game. I get you got to shoot him some bail. He's yapping, but he's Deion. You know, but Caleb's father, Tyrese's father. You have to sit down. You have to sit down. You have to shut the fuck up. Your kid's getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Shut up, cash the check, cheer him on, bitch about his teammates and everyone else behind closed doors. Why are you embarrassing him like that? But I love, so when his father did that, didn't you love Giannis's response?
I forgot what he said.
He was basically like, I originally thought that was just a fan.
Okay.
He was like, that was a fan. But, I respect him. He was saying that, I respect him, and respectfully so. I've won championships before. I've done this, so I know what it takes. So he didn't take it personal. Well, he didn't show in the press conference that he took it personal. He just but that's the African. Respect your elders. Respect other people's parents. Mind your business. Go to work.
In front of other people. Behind
Yes.
closed
Yeah.
doors, oh my gosh, there was a
Like, he was
bunch of
talking
things
so
being
much
said.
shit.
Are you kidding me? What?
Of
Oh, dude.
course.
Why do you think Halliburton didn't even say anything to defend his father? Because Giannis probably ripped him a new one.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong with your father?
Yeah.
You see my fucking family coming down here? That's the thing. Do you see other people acting this way? So why are you acting this way? Like, I don't like.
Some parents are just weird.
They're vicariously living through their children, and that's what makes it sad and dangerous. You wish you were the one on that court playing. So you have to get involved somehow. And that means even if I have to lose all self-respect and run onto the court after they fucking lose or win and just get in another professional players. Now, if that was anyone else, then would he have done that to Draymond Green?
Oh, no. He would have
Well,
got slapped.
Draymond would have slapped him,
That's what I'm saying.
and then the media would have said Draymond was an angry black man.
Listen, but that's what I'm saying. People know who and who not to do it to. You lucky you got nice, humble Giannis, who's like very like professional and politically correct and just wants to win basketball games. You get another roughneck guy, and that would have been a fight on the court.
LeBron would have humbled him.
Especially after losing. That would have been a fight.
Yeah. LeBron would have yelled at him and kicked him out before it even started. LeBron would have humbled him real quick. Yeah, him? Yeah, he's got to go.
LeBron would have seen him just walking towards him. He would have been like, nope, gone. Goodbye. Go.
Goodbye.
It would not have been a conversation.
You would have banned him from the game. That's it. You don't even have the Pacers do it.
But Jess, do you want to talk about Draymond being an angry black man? As the resident black person in the room, would you like to talk about Draymond Green being an angry black man? Or as the media is perceiving him to be an angry black man?
Listen, I understand the whole narrative of the media painting. It is a stereotype that once black men show passion or they defend themselves or they're the loved ones that they're angry and they're just angry black men. I get that. And some of the criticism about him maybe over the span of his career could have suffered from that type of stereotype, but this is just him leaning into an to pretend that he's not an actual fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you're choking people out, you're smacking people, you're getting in referees' faces. You look fucking angry. You are acting angry. Like, yeah, that's why they think that about you, because you don't know how to control yourself or you're choosing not to control yourself in situations when you're getting paid millions of dollars to do so. So that was just him like, don't think about what I'm doing. I know I got ridiculous, but this guy pissed me off, so I got angry. And now, bro, the last fucking 2 years of your career, that's what you display. Like, that's just, and unfortunately, because that is a common stereotype, you do everything you can to make it stick to you. Like, but you don't, it's like, you don't care about that stereotype because you go out your way to use your aggression. So, I mean, some people fell for that bullshit because I watched some of the sports people who were like, yeah. People that were like, yeah, but see right through. This was, we get it, a fan pissed you off, but bro, what you've been doing the last few seasons of your career, you can't deny that. You've been they suspended you at one point indefinitely. If you're not angry, then why would they do that? Like, if you don't act crazy, why are you fucking getting suspended indefinitely? And your coach is up there like, oh yeah, he's just got, oh no. Steph Curry like, yeah, it's again, yeah. Yeah, he got suspended again. Yeah, again. I mean, Draymond, you have a valid point, but your own behavior has been shitting on valid. So I think it's weird. And now they're out of the playoffs.
John will go on his podcast and he'll be like, yeah, but the media perceives me different. I'm not really like that.
No.
On the court, they don't understand how I play. I'm intense.
I'm a casual basketball, so I don't know all the ins and outs of players. But the Warriors have been consistently on national television for the past decade since they've been on this run. And because they're so successful, they're the only fucking national team they show besides the Lakers. And when I tune into the Warriors, bro, you're hitting people, you're hurting yourself and your team. That's what you're showing someone who's not even a dedicated back. So when I see Draymond Green, I'm remembering, oh, this is the guy that steps on people's chest. This is the guy who chokes players on the court. This is a guy who is a phenomenal basketball player. They needed him in those championships. Yeah, he is great. But he's a wild one.
He has reputation, and that has not okay. Like, you usually get like 1 or 2 passes in the NBA. You don't get like 7 or 8. You don't. Like, once you hit like 5, it's like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, at some point, it just shows your immaturity. Like, you're almost 40 and you're still acting like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, when, like, nothing tells you, wait, I need to like roll it back a second. I am almost 40. Oh shit.
And like the difference between like passion and just being a dick. And Draymond at this point just being
stepping on people's chests is not passion.
No.
That is you deliberately trying to hurt. So when you don't get mad when people are like, "Oh, this angry," because that's what angry people do. When you're not angry, you don't choke someone. When you're trying to play. Look, I don't play sports, and when you play basketball professionally, you have to be aggressive. You have to
be physical.
You got to be physical around your weight, especially if you have that position. But I mean, we see the flaw. We see how your hand just magically mops against this guy's head, and how it's like, come on. Not everyone is a wide-eyed dummy. Not everyone is a Warriors fan where they have to keep making excuses for you. I don't pay your pay. We don't pay your paycheck, so we don't have to cover your ass. Like, the media doesn't have to cover and no one has to lie on you either.
But I think, Lewis, you brought the point up in the chat. The NBA enables him. The NBA they allow him to keep getting away with it. And even when they suspend him, he comes back and he does it again. And he does it again. And he does it again.
In other sports, when you get in the ref's faces, don't you get ejected from the game? If you approach an umpire, isn't that like an automatic, you're out?
There's a rule in baseball. You can't argue balls and strikes. And the minute you do, you're qualified for an ejection.
If you're on the football field and you fucking crash out a ref, don't you get thrown out the game? Don't you if you're the football player head to toe in your fucking in your whole gear and you're face to face with the ref, you're telling me they're not going to be like, okay, get out?
The minute I do ejected, I get a flag and I'm ejected for the first half. Easily.
In soccer, the minute you get in the ref, here's the red card, here's the yellow card. It's like, why is it the NBA? It's like, we just have to suffer through it.
Because it's a part of the game. It's allowing them to be aggressive.
He's in the wrong sport. Put on some ice skates and join hockey, and then you can slam people up against the wall and get into fights. And
then you can really slam somebody.
And it'll be accepted. You're in the wrong sport. I don't know. I feel like, the NBA definitely enabled his behavior. Because if that indefinite suspension was for the rest of that season, and with some heavy fines, you could try to curb his behavior.
And the last thing I'll say about it, he keeps saying, oh, but they played in the 80s. They played like this. In the 80s, they did this. They were more aggressive in the 80s. Not really.
Is this the 80s though?
It's a different. You can't adjust to this new NBA. It's like, what do you do for this team that you're not helping anymore? You're being physical for what?
This is what it's like listening to Draymond Green. Just keep slapping yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because it's just dumb point after dumb point after dumb point after dumb point. By the way, Jess, great Steve Kerr impression. Fantastic. He always asks It's always that's the San Francisco man in him now. You know what I mean? He's gotten to that level where he doesn't want to be politically incorrect, right? You know what I mean? So, Draymond, come on.
Well, what makes us sad is because he is an awesome player, and you've been on an awesome team, and you've done amazing things. But this is now attached to you. People aren't gonna just like because he's done it for such a while now, and it's been like on the extreme side of things. It's going to be talked about with your legacy. Yeah, Draymond was the enforcer. Oh, because he also did it. Remember when he did this and he also did that? Like, and it's like, why should people talk about you like? Why should that be part of what you all the hard work you put in, and that's what you're gonna be remembered like.
It's funny because he's probably going to the Hall of Fame, but there's going to be a debate about it because of this.
And you listen, 4 championships, maybe yeah, go to the Hall of Fame, but it's like people are still gonna be talking about this with that. And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not just Draymond Green, the great player for the Warriors, it's Draymond Green, but he had this problem. He had this.
There's an asterisk there, to a degree.
Yeah, so I just feel like he's doing it's a lot of self-sabotage, and I feel like how does he not see that?
At almost 40.
Like, bro, you got grays in your beard. You should probably stop trying to kick people in the nuts. Probably, right? You know what I mean?
Just a thought.
Just Draymond, just a tidbit. All right, you're not
You want
angry.
you want to be Steve Kerr telling Draymond to stop doing it?
Sure.
Well,
like, what are you doing? You want to come for dinner? You want to come to dinner? Take it to dinner.
Draymond Green, fantastic
You won't
player.
even look him in the face.
And yeah, I mean, he's just a wonderful guy. I don't think people see that
Right.
side of him enough.
Right.
And
Right, coach.
he's the reason why we've won these championships, right? And
Right, coach.
yeah, he kicks people in the nuts, but like who doesn't?
Right, coach. It's what I do.
Right? Exactly.
Aggressive.
Exactly. Draymond, and that's why I love you. You'll stomp somebody right in the head. You'll smack them right in the mouth. You'll punch them in the face. You'll kick them in the balls. And guess what? You're going to be right back on the court after your suspension because you're the gamer. You're the guy. You changed the game, Draymond. That's right. That's why I love you. All right?
I love you too, coach.
Hey, it's not like I wasn't trying to get rid of you a couple of years ago. Right? I wasn't trying to do that. Why would I? You punched your own teammate, Draymond. Right?
He deserved it.
Exactly. Jordan Poole, kind of a shit person when we think about it, but you, great guy.
Wait, that match happened during practice, though, right?
Yeah. Preseason.
He literally knocked him out cold.
You said he knocked him out cold?
Yeah, like he caught him and his body went limp.
Yes, it was a literal punch.
Like
it wasn't like a.
It was clean.
It was a borderline fight, for no reason.
I mean, look, we see in NFL training camps, so it happens, but
not in NBA camps.
You're right, because it's not collision. So what the fuck are you fighting for?
Because guess what? Normal NBA teams don't do physical practices that much in preseason.
Or guess what? The players, they typically would just push and shove.
You know what we do during NBA practice? We shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So why are we fighting? So that means Draymond did it intentionally.
Yes. I don't get it. But Draymond, he's a great guy. Draymond, he's one of the happiest black men that I've ever seen. People try and make him angry, but he's happy.
He doesn't seem, because you know what? Outside of the back, you don't seem angry. He seems like a very charismatic guy. He's got a podcast. He's funny. He's he's great for media. He talks. He's like for the most part, you think he's being genuine when he's communicating, to the cameras and stuff. So
I don't know. What do I know?
You seem like a great guy. Everyone says he's a great guy. So it's like, why are we not seeing that?
On the court, I see my personality. I'm a demon on the court. Gotta act like it. All right, what do we know? We're not.
What do we know?
We're not in the locker room.
Not in the locker room.
It's all alleged.
It's all alleged. Even though it's on TV.
Even though it's on TV. Anyway, All right. Real quick, let's do Mets Yankees real quick. Last thing. Subway Series, baby. Great time of year.
Tickets are absolutely ridiculous.
They're sold out tonight.
Yep. For good reason. You know, this is the biggest, hottest story in sports. And Mets are doing real good. Yankees are pretty up and down, right? Yankees still have a winning record, but it's like they could be better, but they could be a lot worse. So it's like, you know what I mean? But the Mets,
Yeah, but there's one reason. There's one reason. I'm gonna show you guys. Since in the group chat, a photo I saw today.
the Mets are they're a good team in a really tough National League, who has like 4 great teams who can easily be a winner, right? And you know, Juan Soto went to the Mets, right? And you know, for one reason or another, whether it's money, whether it's a private suite, whether it's yep, exactly, right? So whether it's because of other things outside of the money, but it's big because he was with the Yankees and it's a New York thing, so it's gonna be some of the biggest games that we're gonna see throughout this whole year. And then the series that's gonna happen during that July 4th weekend, creme de la creme. What? It's gonna be fantastic.
You figured both teams are gonna be better. It's gonna be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They're in playoff races. And even now, to a degree, these teams are like borderline in playoff races right now, just based on their divisions. But this is going to be the most, because last year's Met team at this point wasn't as good, right? It wasn't as talented. It wasn't off to the hottest start. It wasn't off to, they weren't in like their summer fever dream that they were in. So you were getting 2 really good baseball teams. You got 2 potential MVPs in Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso. You have 2. I think it's who's starting for the Yankees tonight. Is it Fried?
If it is, we have a great chance.
Rodon. It's Rodon McGill. Not a great starting pitching matchup to begin with, but that's okay. We get some offense, right? So I think you have 2 really good teams. Both are constructed really well. Both have good bullpens. Both have good defenses. Both have good lineups. It should be, from the objective standpoint, a fun series. I think the Soto element is what adds to this even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's what adds to the rivalry. It's what adds to, especially if he has a big night tonight or a terrible night tonight, it will only continue to add to this rivalry even more. I think if you're a Met fan, I'm salivating over the fact that you guys hate that guy. And if you're a Yankee fan, you're part of the fun of just hating this guy for leaving. Right? Which I don't understand, because the guy had a choice and he made a choice.
Yeah.
Respect it. He hit a home run that got you to the World Series. He hit home runs in the World Series. What more do you want from the guy? I can't say anything. You're God.
Yeah,
I love my guy.
It's like, I don't know why fans are like so like hung up on the notion that he had to be a Yankee. He was a free agent. He can go wherever.
God forbid you leave the glorious Yankees behind.
Yeah, right? Like
why would you do that? Why would you leave the great Yankees behind? What's wrong with you? Oh my God! What a fascinating thing to happen to you.
Yeah.
You leave the Yankees.
What a crazy thing to think about your future. Oh wow! What a crazy thing to think about other things besides baseball. Wow, how crazy! Like, guys, like, who cares? Like, he left. He wanted to leave, so let him leave. Like, and just like I hope that he sucks during the series, because then if he sucks, then the Yankees have a better chance of winning.
I feel like Yankees shouldn't be worried. I mean, we all know what happens every year. They implode. So they let him have one.
Daniel, how do you feel?
Well, you know what? I know. I can't even say I don't know, because I know. You know, I know. Like I know. You understand, when we swept you guys twice this year? My God. Oh, salivating. Greatest. And then, because like we get a win, and then you guys make the World Series. So it's like even my highs against you. But I do genuinely feel we have a good team. I am excited for this year, so I think it's a good
I
test
think
for the year.
this could be the year you guys, because you have Soto, and I think you
Don't be
small.
don't be the guys at ESPN who are like, oh, but you have a good team this year. You should be more excited.
But isn't this why you bought him and be in the World Series? So why is the expectation so low? What?
You see what this says? See what this says?
Yeah.
Means we always fucking lose.
My entire team sucks.
Yeah, right. That's what we are. That's what we are. Hey, man. If we beat you, I can take it right now. I can take it, and you have to live with it. That's the best part. Hey, man. I fundamentally, you know this. I despise Yankee fans, but I do have a respect for Yankee fans that know their history, that know their game, and that know how important they are to baseball. Right? I do respect those fans. I will say, some of you are crazy and out of your minds with how much you believe in this team. I think you have a good team. I don't think you have a great team. I know. We've had this conversation before. We've had it many times on the show. I don't love your team. I don't think it's a good team. Is this team playing really well? Yes. Can this team win a playoff series? Yes. Can they beat the Mets? Sure. Do I think my team is better?
Of course.
Of course I do. So I think in that regard, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Like if like lineup top to bottom, you guys have the better lineup, top to bottom, 1 through 9. In terms of pitching, I think it's like we kind of take the edge because we have the ace, Max Fried. And
yeah,
so I probably give it to the Yankees. Bullpen, is Devin Williams playing or is Luke Weaver playing? Because then that's a big deal. Very big
Devin
deal.
Williams is a problem.
Yeah, Devin Williams is a fucking big ass problem. Let me fucking tell you, get him out of here. Luke Weaver, the greatest pitcher on the planet. And like GM, right? Like who's the better manager, right? Who's the better situational manager? Who's putting his players in position to make plays and to come up clutch in big moments, right?
I think both teams are very even.
Yeah.
I do. I think you have a slight edge in starting pitching, but I think both teams are very even. I think we have a slight edge in lineup. I think it's going to be, if you're an objective fan, a good matchup for both teams and a good test for both teams this early on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a good game. But because we're Met and Yankee fans, we have a more vetted interest in who wins this game.
That's right.
It's not going to make or break the season, but for us, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hate you if the Mets sweep.
I hate you already. Don't you know that? You two are the worst. Just for being Yankee fans. You guys suck. I hate doing this with you every week. I hate talking to Yankee fans every week.
Hey, Jess, they love to hate legacy, don't they? They love to hate it.
They can't handle the empire.
Oh, look, it's our favorite word on the show. History. Legacy.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying.
Hey.
We have to admit this is still a Yankee town. New York City will always be Yankee town. It is a baseball town. It is. It is.
I'm just saying, the 1980s, when the Mets were good, a lot of defectors came to our side. All of a sudden.
Look, is it really? Is it really defect? I mean, New York.
There's some.
We can't all celebrate together.
It's just funny that when the Mets start winning, it becomes, oh, but I'm a New York fan all of a sudden. Oh, I root for New York team.
Appreciate nothing when people want to support them. They're still like, don't do it. Like you guys are
because you're not a Met fan. You're not.
You don't need to be a Met fan to want New York to win.
That is kind of true. Also, you guys froze. So, well, if this is the end, that's gonna do it.
Series Super Bowl.
Oh, you're back. Oh, you're back. You're back. Oh.
You froze.
You guys froze on my end. So.
You did.
Oh.
I was saying like, if the Islanders, the Devils, the Giants, the Nets, any of those teams ever won a Super Bowl, World Series, NBA championship, whatever it may be, Red Bulls, they won an MLS Cup, I would be on my fucking ass livid at it. I wouldn't go be like, oh, but New York won. No, fuck that. I don't want them to win.
Then don't be a real New Yorker. Get out of here.
Okay. I'll go to Cleveland.
Go.
I'll go to Canton. I'll go to Akron.
Listen. New Yorkers have the right to root for any team they want.
They do.
All right.
They do. But it's the fugaziness sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of you are fugazi, like you are. Like I'm not afraid to say. Some of you are
Jess, it's giving bandwagon. That's what it's giving.
I mean, come on.
I know you two are not, but I know a lot of New Yorkers who are.
That is very true. Yeah.
Look, I feel like when you're down to the nitty gritty, and all the other teams have been knocked out, and as long as New York is there, would I prefer the Mets? No. Why would I? But if you're there, damn it, we're rooting for the Queens people. We're rooting for them.
I will say, hey,
we want New York on top.
Hey, listen, all right. I will if there's one if there's one team that I'll be like, you know what, I'm happy for New York, they won, it would be the Giants. Okay, it would be.
Well, they already won.
Yeah.
So we don't need to celebrate them no more.
But like that's it. The Jets and Giants just don't have that rivalry. A lot of other New York teams do. I think that's the focal point of the story.
But I think that's because we don't play each other like that. I think if it was an every year thing, it would be. And I don't know why. I think it should be.
Hey, buddy, you want to play in our stadium? Sure, buddy. That sounds good to me. All right, play.
Yeah, it sounds like they're big homies. Like they're just chilling out, like OGs.
Like sometimes we play you, so it's like, yeah, see you next 3 years. Maybe the preseason.
Yeah,
preseason?
they're playing the preseason this year. It's like every year.
Turn off the lights when you're done.
Yeah.
We should pick up garbage, please.
By the way,
I think we should up last week.
This is very funny. This is a very funny meme
That's
right here.
right.
That's so funny.
Well, the Nets and the Knicks don't have a rivalry either.
Because the Nets play in Jersey and the Nets aren't winning shit forever.
No, the Nets play in Barcelona.
Well, now they play in Barclay. But it's like this is always going to be a Knicks town.
Haven't, even though the Nets have been with us now for a while, it doesn't feel like a New York team.
But this has always been a Knicks town. That's the thing. Like, the Nets played in Jersey. They had Jersey, but for like 70, 80 years, it was always in. Like, the Knicks are generational here.
I feel like if there's one team we don't even have to count as a New York team, it would be the Nets. But I would still root for if the Nets somehow made it to the championship, I would root for the Nets.
I would feel happy for them and their fans because all 5 of them that support them, they've been through a lot.
The Nets, I think for them, they need to, because they should be a bit more competitive than what they've been. They should. They tried the big 3 up in their face. That organization needs a revamp somewhere.
They need a Cooper flag. They need the NBA to rig their own draft for them. That's what needs to happen.
They need to cement themselves in the city.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Net fan when they first came to Brooklyn. Like,
a lot of people.
I was big into Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, old ass KG, Jason Terry, Quincy AC, Rashawn Evans, Brooke Lopez. Right, that was actually a decent team. They played no defense.
Well, they were the new toy.
They were awful.
So,
people were excited. Like, "Oh, they're the 4th seed. They're good." I watched almost every single game they played. They were an awful team. They were awful, and then they got fucking shellacked by Miami, and then they almost lost to the Raptors that season. They made the playoffs. They were an awful team. They were lucky to even get out of the first round. A based former Net fan right here. Based right there. I know the history. There.
Yeah, I didn't take you for one of the 5 fans. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was one of them. And Darren Williams always fucking hurt. Paul Pierce was old as shit. Jason Terry old as shit. KG old as shit. Joe Johnson was the only bright spot. That was it. Like, what else was there? Brooke Lopez.
And then you tried it again.
Yeah, it's like
Kyrie, KD, and Harden.
But that team actually was good. they got closer to winning a chip. Like if KD's foot was just a little bit smaller, they would have beat the Bucks and they probably would have went to the finals and won. That just would have happened. So, we'll see.
The what if of sports.
The what if of sports. There we go.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us.
That's been the Get Back.
Yeah.
There we go.
We didn't do our wheel, did we?
Oh, we didn't do
I
that.
guess we'll do the wheel next week.
Hey, listen, we gotta have something to talk about with the NFL next week.
We can do a special. We can log on to Discord at some day before next Friday and just have a special for the wheel.
No, we could do the wheel when there's like absolutely zero NFL things. Because last
But
week,
what's happening next week? Nothing.
So there we go.
that's what I'm
The
saying.
mini camps are happening. I mean, they don't start yet.
Okay, is there any more schedule releases we gotta talk about? Any other cooler videos we gotta talk about?
The Chargers Minecraft video was fantastic. So that was a good video.
I thought the Giants had the best video, the best schedule.
The coach fucked up their schedule release video.
Yeah. They messed up two ways, dummies. But it explains what's wrong with them.
But the wheel, if everything goes well, and next week we're where we're supposed to be, everything should work out next week for the wheel.
There we go.
We just want to come back on campus. Brooklyn College. So let's back on campus.
That's it.
Please. We're begging.
Please.
We paid our tuition. I kind of still owe the money, but still.
And that's gonna do it for the Get Back. There we go. We'll see you guys next week.